Today's video comes from a random tree stump in a field near my house. It's a lovely autumnal Sunday and I wanted to film a video today on everything I take on a wild camp, so all of my wild camping kit. If you're new to my channel and this is the first video that you're seeing, then hi from me. My name's Grace and I share a lot of my adventures, travels, hikes, challenges, etc. on YouTube and on Instagram. If you have been watching my YouTube, then you'll know that I've recently got into wild camping, especially solo wild camping, which I've done a few times over the last few months, and I've also done a lot of other camps with friends and with other people, so I feel like I've learned a lot in the past year or so from my wild camping experiences, and as always I thought I would share those. So one of the most common things I'm asked is about the kit that I take on wild camps. So I'm going to talk through all of my kit today. I bought all of my wild camping kit with my birthday money for my 30th birthday. So my main aim was lightweight, warm, and just good quality, something that was going to last me. So I did spend a fair bit of money on all of my camping kit. There are, I guess, lower cost alternatives to the things that I have here, but I'll talk you through what I've got because I did a lot of research and I found these to be the best for me. I know that I struggle already with carrying big bags up mountains, so I wanted to go for as lightweight kit as possible, and I know how cold I get, especially in winter or early spring, so again I spent a little bit more to have warm kit that was going to keep me comfortable. So I'll talk you through it. First off is the bag. It is an Osprey Kite 66, so it's a 66 litre bag. It is on the bigger side. When I first bought this I did have some camping know-it-alls tell me that my bag was too big. Not too big at all. But I got the bigger bag because I do plan to do some long distance hikes or through hikes. So I figured there's no point me having a 40-something litre bag and then another bag. I may as well just get the bigger bag and then I can have enough room for everything I need. And it's actually served me well. You really underestimate how much your kit is going to take up. Even in this bag, I've pretty much filled it every wild camp that I've been on. And I don't think I've packed anything really unnecessary. Sometimes I have, but you get my point. So I've used this bag on all of my wild camps. I find it extremely comfortable. It really bears the weight of the bag really well. So I was very scared on the first wild camp of how I was going to manage carrying such a heavy bag up a mountain. But as soon as it's on and you've adjusted all the straps correctly, it really does manage the weight well. And it's just a lot comfier than I ever expected it to be. So I'm really happy with the bag. A few of the good things about this bag is that it carries your water bladder on the outside in this pocket here. So if your water bladder was to ever burst or leak, importantly, your camping kit will stay dry. Another thing is it has a front zip. It has a U-shaped zip here. So you can actually open the bag from the top, which gives you much easier access rather than taking everything out. And then it has a separate zip on the bottom to store your sleeping bag. Well, that's where I put my sleeping bag anyway. So again, just easy access for things in the bottom, things on the front. You can get access to everything really well. So it has pockets on the side for water bottles. It has pockets in the waist straps for your phone or essentials down here. It's breathable. It's got the air zone pack on the back. A pocket at the top, it's got a pocket on the inside. It's great. It's got loads of pockets everywhere. It's got straps to carry things on the outside if you want to. It's got loads of hooks to hook things onto. So I do think this is a really great bag. I would definitely recommend it if you're looking for a bag that will kind of see you all year round, whether it's just a single wild camp or whether you are doing a long distance hike or a through hike. This is a really good backpack, which I definitely recommend after using it for a year now. So on to what's inside the bag. First things first, tent. Kind of important if you're wild camping. If you watched my first solo wild camp video, in that video I used a Nemo Hornet 2-man tent, which I'd borrowed off a friend, and it was incredible. It was so light, it was so small, it packed down to this big. It packs down into this tiny bag. That is a tent that I want, but I just haven't bought yet. I think I'm going to buy it when I do some long distance trails next year. But for now, this is my tent. It is the Vango Helvellyn 200. Obviously I packed it very neatly last time I put it away. So this is the tent that I used in the Fleet with Pike video and that I've used on every other wild camp that I've done. And it's a really great tent. I find that if I pack the poles separately down the side of the bag, then I can squish this down a little bit more and it fits inside my bag, because I've carried it on the outside and I didn't like it. I didn't like feeling something swinging around. I liked everything being in my bag. So I did find if I took the poles and the pegs out and put them down the side of my bag, I could then get this to squish down if you pack it properly and it fits in your bag. So it's a really good tent, easy to put up. I have obviously used it a few times by myself and I've had no issues putting it up on my own. So as you can see, it's relatively small. You can pack it better than this. I've not made a very good example. It's not the lightest tent. I think it's like 2.5 kilograms. But if you're looking for a reasonably priced, easy to pitch, like beginner tent, for 2 people or yourself and room for a bag and a dog, then this is a great tent. The only downside I would say to this tent is that it doesn't have like a hook on the inside to hang a light from or something, so I have to just use my head torch or my phone in my hand. But other than that, it's got little pockets on the inside. It's got room on as a little porch to kind of keep your trainers or your bags or your shoes, whatever. So yeah, that's my tent. Next up is my sleeping mat. So this is my sleeping mat. It is the Thermarest NeoAir X Lite. I'll be completely honest, I'm still a little bit undecided about this mat. I did a lot of research before buying it because I really wanted something that was going to be comfortable, warm and light, and it is those things. However, 2 downsides. One is that it lasted me 1 camp before it got a puncture, which was really disappointing because I spent a lot of money on this for something that you just lie on, that you can get for, you can buy a Lilo for £5, but considering how much money I spent on it, I really expected it to last me more than 1 camp before getting a puncture. Since it's been fixed, it's been fine. The only other thing is it's a bit noisy. So when you're like shifting around, or, there's a bug on it. But when you lie down and you shift around on it, it's not the quietest of mats. So 2 things to consider. It's serving me enough for now. It's very light. It's easy to blow up. Hi. So I'm happy with it for now that it is actually staying up throughout the night and it's not deflating on me. I'm happy enough with it now. It packs down really small, it's extremely light. And if you don't move around too much in the night, or if you're not worried about making any noise, then the fact that it's a bit squeaky shouldn't matter. And to be fair, I think a lot of mats might make a bit of noise because they are just air, so they're gonna, if you're moving around on them, they're going to make a bit of noise, but it's just a bit crinkly. So that's something to bear in mind. So yeah, that's the sleeping mat. Next up from the sleeping mat is my pillow. So this is from Go Outdoors. It's also Vango, like my tent. Some people don't take pillows on wild camps and they just roll their clothes up in a dry bag or their coat or something, but I wanted a pillow. It's so small, it's so light, I don't see why not to have one. So yeah, this is really comfy, no complaints with this. It's a great little pillow. You just blow it up here and it's like fabric, so it's nice. So yeah, this is the pillow. I don't know what else you can say about pillow. See, it's tiny. Next up is my stove. This is the Alp Kit Brew Kit. You can also get stoves from Jetboil, OEX. I'm sure there's plenty of others. They all do the same thing. So really you just need to decide on kind of size and weight. I like this one because my gas canister fits into the stove, so everything kind of fits in and it packs away quite nicely, whereas the Jetboil, it's a bit thinner, so the gas canister doesn't fit inside it. It does with the OEX one. So again, just have a shop around, see what you're after really. It's just super handy for cooking your food or having hot drinks, which is really, really nice in the winter or in the colder days. So you've got a stand here, your gas canister clips onto the stand, and then the base screws onto the gas canister, and then your stove slots on top. So you put your water in here, put your lid on, and you can boil your water. And then you've also got the option of food on wild camps. So these are some examples of some great kind of camping meals. You've got hydrated and dehydrated meals. So this one is hydrated, meaning that it's ready to eat. You can eat it hot or cold. So if you have any issues with your stove, it might not be nice, but you can actually eat this cold, and you boil the entire bag in the water. Whereas this one is a dehydrated meal. So you need to add water to this and let it sit. They're both really light. They're both like 500-600 calories, so they'll keep you going for sure. That is the food and the stove situation. So next up is my sleeping bag, and I love this sleeping bag. It is the coziest thing I've ever owned. So it's a Rab Ascent 700. As you can see, it packs down quite small. What I like about this is I hate feeling constricted when I sleep, and even though this is, I think it's like a mummy shape, it's really roomy. I can actually like bend my leg in it and sleep with one of my legs bent, which is how I like to sleep. Little fact for you there. So yeah, this is the sleeping bag. So cozy. Oh, here we go. So it goes down to, the limit of comfort is at minus 8.5. So yeah, around minus 9. When it comes to sleeping bags, if you're undecided about what to buy, go and have a look in Go Outdoors. They always have loads hung up so you can kind of check the feel of them. But I would suggest getting a down sleeping bag over a synthetic sleeping bag. First of all, I think they're just a bit warmer. But second of all, they pack down a lot smaller. Like you can literally just stuff this in and then squish it down. Whereas the synthetic bags there's not as much give in terms of like packing them down. So down sleeping bag over synthetic sleeping bag, in my humble opinion. But as always with everything, I wouldn't say try them out, but have a feel. It really depends how warm or cold of a sleeper you are. If you're quite a cold sleeper and you don't need necessarily the warmest sleeping bag in the world, or if it's summer months, I also have this blanket from Crua Outdoors. So this is the colour blanket. It is a synthetic blanket, but it's infused with graphene, which is a thermoregulator, so it keeps you really warm. What's good about this is it packs down really small, it's super lightweight. It's a blanket that clips together to also be a sleeping bag, so you can have as much or as little kind of coverage as you want with it, but it's really warm. It's really lightweight, it's water resistant, and I've taken this on like if it's a really hot summer camp and you don't necessarily need to be sweltering away in a sleeping bag, then this is a really great alternative. And I've also taken it on a few van trips as well. It's just a really nice warm alternative to a sleeping bag. It's got this really cozy fleece lined foot pocket as well, and then it's also got other little pockets throughout for your phone, your keys, your hands, so it's really good. It just kind of gives you everything you need. You've got a zip pocket here. So yeah, this is the colour blanket from Crua Outdoors. So some final wild camping essentials that I would recommend taking with you. Okay, everything's falling off. So some final wild camping like essentials that I would suggest taking with you are a mug, first of all. This one is from Trespass and it's handy because it clips onto the outside, so if you're struggling for room then you can do that. I always have some of these heat hand warmer, like heat pack things. If you don't have the best sleeping bag, take some of these, chuck them down into the bottom of your sleeping bag or in your pocket or something, and they're really good at keeping you warm. So it's the worst thing ever is being cold. When I first started out, I had the worst sleeping bag and I was freezing all night, and these were a lifesaver. So I always have some of these in my bag. Head torch, very important. This is from Petzl. I believe it's 100 lumens. You can get stronger ones. This is enough for me. It's got me up and down a few mountains in the dark. This is the Petzl Tika head torch. Yeah, I wouldn't ever go wild camping without one, just in case you needed to see in the dark, obviously. And then the other obvious essentials like a first aid kit, a whistle, make sure you've got plenty of water, take more than you think that you'll need. I would also just take loads of snacks. Power bank, very important. I would never go on a hike or a wild camp without a power bank. You always need to make sure that you've got connection to something or someone. If you're doing a solo wild camp, I would recommend taking a Kindle or downloading some films or music or podcasts or something to your phone, just so that you've got something to keep you company. So yeah, that is all my camping kit. I'm gonna now walk it back, the whole 10-minute journey back to my house. So I hope that's been helpful to somebody, and if you've got any questions or if you've got any other advice you'd want to share, then pop that in the comments below. And links to everything I mentioned are in the description of the video, so if you're interested in anything you can go click on those. So yeah, thank you for watching. I'm going to walk the 10 minutes back to my house from this random field, and another few weeks until my next camping adventure, which I'm very much looking forward to. So I will see you then. Bye!